Hey, welcome to the show. Feeling good with Duddy. That's me. Let's go.
Oh, happy holidays! It's episode 84 of Feeling Good with Duddy, the show that points at the world, has a laugh, points in the mirror, has a laugh. That's right. Fairest of the fair, bravest of them all. That's us. I'm Jake B., a barber here in Southern California. Let me introduce you to the host of the show, my brother, guitar player, singer of the Dirty Heads. Here he is, Duddy B.
What is happening? That's right, 84. Wow.
Woo. Cranking.
16 more will be at that hundo.
Oh.
And I do think we have something special planned for that 100. Not set in stone, but we have a cool idea. But other than that, I did want to let you guys know this will probably be a little bit of a shorter episode. We're a little short-handed in here today. If you have been listening,
No Lukey.
No Lukey. Lukey's not here today. He helps us pretty much do everything and help run the show, but he is at home, Jake. He's at home sick with COVID.
Dude, Luke got COVID. He got the official news on Christmas morning, but here's Luke's last couple weeks. He got bit by a gnarly spider, and it turned into a staph infection. So he was dealing with all of that, and then he got COVID on top of that. So rough ass 2020, just kicking poor Lukey boy right in the balls on the way out the door. So yeah, it's just Duddy and I here in the bunker, and we just got finished up doing our Patreon show, and here we are to do the Wednesday show, but we're just going to be in and out.
Quick short one. We do have some fun stuff though, but yeah, so that's unfortunate. Luke tested positive, and you know what else is positive, Jake?
What's that?
The reviews that have been coming in, we've seen them and we appreciate them, you guys. It really does help, and we do appreciate it. And if you are listening and you do like the show and you have not left us a comment or a review yet, please go over to wherever you're listening, but especially that Apple Podcast app. If you head over there and give us a 5-star and leave us a comment as well. And if you leave us a funny comment, like I have one right here, let me pull this up really quick from Xander Stone 11. He gave us a 5-star review, and this is his comment. As an only child, I've wondered what it would be like to have a brother, but listening to this podcast made me feel very good about being an only child. Ending up with a brother as annoying as Jake could have easily happened and changed my life forever. Saturday morning cartoons would be ruined with the voice of Jake in my ear. Luckily, Duddy made it through okay. Being a barber, I pictured Jake as like the Sweeney Todd character, except instead of slitting your throat, he just ear jams you with that annoying voice of his. I'd prefer Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, that hurts. The first part where he just says, as a young child, Duddy would have to deal with me in his ear on Saturday mornings. Cute and fun. And then he attacks my place of business. And whether he's right or wrong, dude, it was a low blow.
He says right at the end there, he goes, I'm just kidding. Love the show. So you guys get it. Head on over, leave us a rating, give us a funny review. I'll read it on the show, and it really does help us out. So we appreciate it. Thank you guys. But before we get going,
I didn't think that was a funny review.
I thought it was pretty funny, and it was pretty accurate. But the holidays, they're coming to an end. And there was just something that's just funny. I was talking with Jake about right before the show, and it was just something I thought we might need to bring up on the show.
We have to. Duddy brought this up to me, and he's all, should we talk about this on the show? And I go, yes, because I've been ranting about this for years, and it has to be said. Go for it, Duddy.
Yeah, you guys have heard my you should be shots and you should be slapped, and this is neither of those. I don't hate this. We don't hate these people.
These are the best people on earth,
slapped, but it is something funny that we do, and I think it's just because you just do it because you do it every year and you don't realize it. And then you're like, you take a step back. You're like, yeah, wait a second.
I don't know if this falls in. Okay, this is a tradition thing, but it's not a tradition that everyone. It's just like if your family traditionally does this, I guess you can't stop yourself.
Yes, and it's the Christmas cards, the holiday family Christmas cards.
Here's my whole family grinning ear to ear in front of a tree,
in matching clothes,
on a fireplace.
We all look like we're just perfect. Everything is perfect.
fake snow
Yes.
put on the deal.
Even if
Season's greetings, and
even if I haven't been to church in 8 years, it says, "May God be with you and
Of
bless the
course.
children with
This
Christ's."
blessed time
love.
of seasons. May the Lord's light shine upon you from
Yes.
our heavenly family.
Yes, and then
yours.
immediately on New Year's, go out and just
And just have a debaucherous, just drug-filled
night.
hooker. Very, very, very bad, great, horrible, awesome evening. So yeah,
You
so
get it.
that's the type. So Duddy brought it up. He's all, "What do you think about this?" He's all, "It's always so cringy." I go, "Yeah, dude, it's a mega cringe." But we get it because, like you said, these aren't bad people. These are you and me. Dude, Duddy sends out Christmas cards traditionally every year, but Duddy sends out funny ones.
Yes.
It's always his family in some embarrassing pose and I mean, not even just like, "We're wearing funny Christmas sweaters." Not that. That's no longer funny.
That's not
that hasn't
funny.
been funny for 30 years. I'm talking really funny. Like his family just does insane cards every year. They didn't this year, probably because
We
of
didn't.
coronal vibes.
You know what? I don't know. It just started getting close to Christmas, and we talked about it. And we're like, you know what? Let's just skip this year.
It's
But we
not the
did do
year.
a funny, like we took a little funny picture together and we posted it on our like Instagram, but it was nothing crazy.
So funny is always forgiven.
Yeah.
Because that's like, ooh, I'm going to open it. If you know a family does funny ones, then you look forward to it every year.
For sure.
But here's the deal, guys. 20, 30 years ago, before social media, sure. You know, some of us have family members that live in other countries or across the globe or whatever. You don't ever get to see them. This might be the only time you see the kids or the family or your cousins or whatever every year. It's the Christmas cards. They grew a beard. Little Timmy's got taller. You know, Sarah cut her hair. You get to see your family. So I totally get it. Back in the day,
Totally.
you open the Christmas card. Whoa, they got braces. It's a big shock. Dude, we're on social media now. We see your family every minute. And guess what? The Christmas cards that you sent us, we saw them. You posted them online.
You posted them for sure.
Now we're just doing deforestation for no reason. You are global warming. It's you. You did it. Look in the mirror. Daddy, any other?
I don't know. I just picture like a bunch of like squirrels and deer like, "Mommy, why do we lose our homes each year?" Well, people have to send out their greeting cards.
And then the little squirrel looks up at the deer, "Mommy, but they have Facebook and Instagram and Tucky Ticky." And then I don't get it, you know, and then here comes a bear and eats them. So,
Yeah.
well, they eat fish probably more like her.
They eat
I'm
fish,
not,
yeah.
I'm not, you know, the woodland guy.
That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, even the woodland creatures are confused by the whole deal. So you guys, we've got social media now. We see your family more than we want to. We can't scroll fast enough to not see your family. Sometimes I just grab the bottom of the screen and just whip it up there. So it's like a slot machine. And I'm just like, whoo, how many families did I avoid seeing there? I don't know, but I hope a lot. And then, you know, look for a G string and then you stop. You know, that's how you guys search, right? So anyway, no more holiday photos, right, Daddy? Is that what we're getting at?
That's it. You get it.
Season's
You
greetings,
get it.
everybody. And,
Don't
you know,
take away those squirrel homes. But yeah, so yeah, other than that, not much going on in DH news right now. I mean, wow, this was
no dirty head news,
No,
dude.
what a year. We did not tour this year. First year we haven't toured since we've been a thing. So like 20 years.
Wait, when was...
Our last show was One Love. We did a couple drive-in shows, but our
Right.
last like actual full show with a full big old crowd was One Love, and I believe that was like February 2nd.
Okay, so
like,
it was this year.
it was
but
this
it was
year,
almost a year ago.
but
Wow.
no touring. We did not do one tour this year, and there's really no tours. We have some tours planned out, and we have some really cool ideas for it, but obviously we can't say that anything is set in stone right now. But
How crazy is this that there's still this is a year later almost, right? We're coming up maybe 10 months after this whole thing kind of got crazy, the Corona thing.
yeah, I think it was like March.
And now at this point, 10 months on, we have no idea when even possibly live shows will be a thing again, right?
Well, yeah,
or are
it's
people
like
talking.
There's talk, but nobody knows for sure. And it's one of those things where, I mean, we've talked about it a bunch on this, so I won't bore you, but you know, it's like, even when it does start, it's not like they're going to be full capacity.
Right.
So that's the whole thing. So, you know, what there's talk of us like, okay, well, normally we do like, let's say on an average, when we're touring out there, we're doing 8 to 12,000 seaters. Okay. Maybe we'll go do the 25,000 seaters and only sell 10,000 tickets, things like that. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it works out. We're really itching to get back out there, but yeah, Rome and Duddy, same thing.
you guys were on tour and it got cut. So
yeah,
maybe
and
those
we
were the
have
last
some
real
plans for
shows
the
you did.
2021, and we have new music for Roman Duddy. We have new music for the Dirty Heads, but no real plans on putting it out yet until probably we get the touring thing figured out.
Okay.
But if you are, there is good news for Dirty Heads fans, Jake.
Yeah, there is a little
are
bit of Dirty Head
Dirty
news.
Heads fan, though, right now, well, starting in 2021, over on our Patreon page, we do have a Patreon page if you're listening, and you want 4 bonus episodes every month, you can go over to our Patreon page and you can check that out. But also what I'm going to start doing over there next year, 2021, once a month, I'm going to pick a Dirty Head song. I'm going to give a brief history on the song, and then I'm going to play it and give a tutorial on how to play the song on guitar.
Yeah, Duddy did a Sails to the Wind. Basically, one of our Patreon members asked a question on one of our episodes. Hey, could you do a Sails to the Wind tutorial? I'd love to learn how to play that riff. Duddy did it, put it on our Patreon, and it was awesome. People loved it. And in 2021, we talked about it on, I think, last week's show. We're going to really start leaning on music again, live performances. Duddy and I are going to play some music. And on our Patreon page, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have Duddy doing music tutorials, and we're also going to try to get those bonus performances from all of our guests to live on our Patreon. So it's just a part of that whole, like, let's dive back into this music thing, man, in 2021. Let's get it cracking.
Let's get it cracking. Yeah, so... yeah, like I said before, going to be a shorter episode. We just definitely wanted to say thank you to all you guys for listening and just give a nice little wrap up.
It's been a crazy year for us, so we're so happy to still have you guys with us.
So happy. And I'm actually so excited for 2021 with the show. We have so many great ideas and some cool guests that we're going to be having on the show. So 2021, we're super looking forward to it. But I can't let you guys go out just like that. I do have a conspiracy query.
Oh, of course.
I mean, why would I not?
I know, and of course you do. And we've explained it 1,000 times, but in case there's someone who crawled out from under a rock, what's a conspiracy query? I've heard of a theory.
Yeah.
Just let them know.
Guys, this is a conspiracy query, okay? This isn't a theory. I'm not saying, guys, listen to this, I believe this, and I'm trying to convince you. You know, this isn't something I found. This isn't something I came up with and I'm like, trying to spread the good word across the world. This is just something I simply came across online, and I was wondering if you believe in conspiracy queries.
There it is, a fair question he's asking you. And this is continuing our conspiracies from around the globe.
Around the globe. Last week's was from our great nation's capital, Alabama. Right?
Right, absolutely.
And this is from the city of gold, Jake. Delaware.
In Delaware? The city of gold?
I just
in
made
Delaware?
that up.
Oh, okay. It does sound like a very
Right?
gold. I went to Delaware to get some gold.
Yeah, okay. This is a fun one. This one's called Mr. Chew.
Mr. Chew.
Samuel Chew was a respected man, a chief justice in the state back in the colonial days. Still, even in the colonial America, bullies latched onto his name, constantly proclaiming, "Ah, Chew," as if sneezing. He apparently hated it so much that his spirit still stalks those who mock him, showing up in his robes and powdered wig to scare the ever-living crap out of people who can't resist the easy joke at the expense of centuries-dead legislator.
They wrote "scare the living crap" out
They
of
did.
it?
They wrote
I
that.
love that.
This is from
How
our good friends
conversational
over
they're
at
writing it.
thethrillist.com.
The Thrillist. Bringing
And
us
this
some-
says Chew was a very, this is where it came from. Chew was very much a real man serving as a chief justice of 3 lower, counties? Until he died in 1743. Things got so unsettling that people eventually held a funeral for the ghost in Dover's Green.
Oh, wow.
Laying his spirit to rest in an ornate grave. He seemed to be placated, though he still...
Placated?
Placated?
Yeah, placated.
Placated, though he's still known to mess with smart asses who sneeze at the mention of his name. So I guess
So what they did was they were being haunted by this guy and they were horrified. So they decided to do a nice funeral for him to like be like, sorry for making fun of your name, dude.
Yes.
And they placated him in that way.
they placated.
Yeah. And then, but there's still a couple obviously assholes, douche. But I mean, let's be fair, Duddy. You and I would be like, Achoo,
are you
know?
kidding me?
We would be the assholes.
I wouldn't be able to stop doing
No,
it.
please. I wonder what his first name is because it says Mr. Chew.
Samuel Chew.
See, it would have been better if it was like Aaron Chew. Chew.
Sam Chew.
Oh, there you go.
You can do
Sam
it.
Chew.
Sam Chew. So that's that.
So
I mean,
he's, dude. See, that's the thing is on our show, people have thicker skin than that. We say horrifying things to our
Horrifying
listeners.
things.
They still hang out with us.
yeah.
So come on, Mr.
That's
Chew.
funny. Do you believe that there's a ghost out there, that gets pissed off if you make fun? I guess I should have said, do you believe that there's a ghost out there that makes fun of you if you say Achoo because his name's Mr. Chew?
I absolutely do because I went to school with a guy named Matt Bodkins and everyone called him Matt Buttskins.
Oh.
He fucking hated it. He would lose his mind and lose his shit. But dude, Duddy and I, I was, who was it? I think it was Rico. He used to call me Jake's Bush Smells.
Oh, yeah.
We got Bush in our last name.
We had a friend in high school named,
trashed.
his name was bad enough. It was Bumcrotch was his last.
Oh, that's right.
But then it was like, everyone called him Bald Crotch.
Bald Crotch. I was, Jake Bush Smells. And then we've said this before, John Olazabal, who's the percussionist for the Dirty Heads. Our same buddy Rico called him John My Balls Are Bald. He was the guy that always nicknamed everyone with something gross. And so come on, Achoo is kind of cute. I have a friend named Duck Poop. His nickname's Duck Poop. Everyone calls him Duck Poop.
Yeah.
He's dealt with that.
Look, if someone gives you a funny nickname,
you gotta just
it's probably because they like you. And when people like you, Jake, does that feel good?
Oh, the Segway champion. You did it.
Speaking of feeling good, on this show, we have some sponsors that make us feel great. And first and foremost, Koi CBD. We love these guys. We love this product. We use it every single day. I really do. Especially right now. It's kind of cold out.
Jeez.
Even here in Southern California.
I'll lather myself up.
And I got this tendonitis that, from just a lifetime of baseball, Jake.
Oh my God, dude.
No, but I really do, man. I get these crazy aches and pains in my wrists and in my elbows, mostly in my wrist and in my fingers and stuff. I get cramps a lot. But since I started a steady diet of CBD, it happens way less frequent, but it still does every now and then. And if it does, I grab one of their bombs, or they have this awesome new roll on, almost like an icy hot, just packed with CBD. It's awesome. It smells great, makes you feel great. So if you are out there and you are taking any sort of pain meds, over the counter pain meds for any sorts of pains and cramps, give CBD a try. Give Koi CBD a try. It is the best. And if you go over to koicbd.com and you put in code FEELGOOD at checkout, you're going to get 15% off your first order, Jake.
Slammo.
Blammo. Yep. And also, plug-ins keychains. This is a great product. I have one of these on my wall in my house. I've had one for years. And every time someone comes over, most of the time they go, wow, that's awesome. Where'd you get that? What it is it's like a replica of a guitar amp head. And that's what you plug your guitar into, for the amp. And it has 4 keychain plugs in it. You put your key on it, and it's like a 1/4-inch cable, the head of a 1/4-inch cable. You put your keys on it. That's your keychain. When you get home, you plug it into your amp.
Yep.
When you want to leave, you know right where your keys are. They're plugged into your amp. That's on your wall. You rip them off, and you're on your way. And they just look really cool. It's something that it's also the best gift ever. If you know anyone out there who plays guitar or just is a music fan, get them one of these. You will be a hero. So go over to pluginskeychains.com, and that's plugins with a Z, PLUGINZ, keychains.com. Get a jack rack and put in code DuddyB at checkout, and you'll get 20% off every order, every time.
And you're so right about everyone who plays guitar will love it. We've said it 1,000 times, but look, my wife, right? My wife, she just started playing bass maybe 3 weeks ago at the most now. And what did she immediately say? Because we got her little Fender practice amp for the house. She sees that there's a Fender jack rack, and she's like, oh, can you get me that? Boom. Instantly, she wants one for the wall now.
Oh, totally.
We've been promoting them for a year now almost. She hasn't said a word. Now she's a bass player and wants it for the wall.
Gotta have it. That's
a
right.
win.
So you heard it here, people. Yep. All right. So we're going to get into the last Q&A of the year.
Last Q&A of the year.
Questions. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Q&A. Ask us any question you want.
These are questions from our Patreon members. If you want to ask us questions and you want 4 bonus episodes every month, and now you also want a guitar tutorial and history
Of
head
Dirty
on
Head
over-
Songs.
Yes, head on over to our Patreon, sign up, become a member, and you too could ask us some questions. Let's see here.
Questions.
Lacey and Lennon want to know, what is one thing each of you is either A, extremely knowledgeable about, or B, extremely passionate about that isn't already obvious to all of us? Also, Duddy, thanks for signing that poster of Lennon. Made her day. You are welcome. Wow, I think we've mentioned this. I mean, I think a lot of people have asked us on the show, like, what are some things that you guys are passionate about or that you love to do when you're not doing music or the podcast? You know, like, I love to golf. I love to, I love planting, plants in my backyard, and obviously my kids and things like that.
Yeah, I wish I had a good answer for you too, because like the things that we are very passionate about, we talk about on the show.
Yeah.
We don't, because nothing we do is so creepy that we can't talk about it on this show. So I'm not sure I have any secret passions that
I don't, but I do have a
It
new
is a
love
great
for
question. I just don't have a
cubic,
good answer.
Rubik's cubes.
Oh,
New
there
passion.
you go. See, Lacey and Lennon, great question. There you go, Duddy. That's right. So Duddy is now trying to be Captain Rubik's Cube.
I can solve a cube in 2 minutes. I got to get it less though.
You got to be pretty passionate to get it around the 2-minute mark. I did tell Duddy about a show I watched on Netflix though, where these guys, it's some show where they're solving Rubik's cubes in like 7 seconds. It's a show about the world's best and a competition involving them. He still hasn't watched it, but your mind will be blown
I'm
out of
going
your
to watch
face.
that.
You
And then,
gotta watch it. It'll
Yeah,
inspire
next time
you.
I'm up after my wife goes to bed, which is rarely, I usually fall asleep first. I'm putting it on. Ryan Ruddle wants to know, when you were younger, did you guys collect merch from any specific band? For example, I have 7 DH posters for me, and my son always has one of our DH pins on his hats and beanies. No, I was never a crazy like merch collector guy.
No,
No.
neither.
When I was really young, I collected like baseball cards, but that was like the only thing. And then I grew out of that pretty quick. And that was really the only thing I think I ever like collected.
This is one thing I noticed about when I was younger. Like, we loved bands. Duddy and I would go to shows all the time and stuff. But band shirts, like, almost always sucked when we were kids. Duddy and I are kind of lanky, we're like narrow, taller, lanky guys or whatever. And the band shirts back then would always be short and
square.
wide.
Well, because it's the cheapest blanks.
It was the cheapest shirt. So I remember I bought a few band shirts at shows when I was younger. I'd be stoked and buy the shirt, and then you wash it once, and then I'm like wearing one of those football cutoff top. And I was like, never able to wear a band shirt after like a wash or two. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore. They're just not the thing. Nowadays, the merch has gotten way better.
Oh, well, bands care about that now.
Yeah.
And some bands, their fans know, like, I'm going to pay $350 for this jacket because I know it's going to be dope. And
I
it's going to
left
be
that jacket at your house too. Duddy gave me a sweet
I meant
Dirty
to
Heads
bring
jacket.
that
I
for
just
you.
left it on the damn.
Dang, I meant to
by
bring
the
that.
way, too, do you have that pot?
I do.
Okay. My wife made a stew, and I left the pot at Duddy's.
It was very good, by the way. Christy Gilroy says, anything you wish you could do but can't. I wish I could sing, and I can't roll my R's. We've talked about this on the show too. I wish I could, I was a better artist, like drawing pictures and stuff. I'm terrible. One of the worst I've ever seen, to be honest. But I wish I was better at that. But I could just never do it.
Yeah. Dude, it's like, God, I wish I was better at everything.
I know.
It's like, that's what it was, right? Is there anything you wish you were better
Yeah.
at? For me, it's like, it's always been guitar.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty, like, drums was my natural thing that I kind of took to. Duddy was better at guitar right out the gates, but actually you had to work really hard to get as good as you are at guitar. But
yeah, it wasn't
you
like
were
a natural. I wasn't like a natural, like, oh, I just picked it up and it really came easy. Like, I sat in my room for
a couple
10
years.
years.
Yeah, dude. But I've always been okay at guitar. I've never improved at guitar. Like, I swear, in 20 years. So that was one thing. I'm like, man, I've never been able to solo. I've never just had riffs. Never. It's always just bar chords, very basic. So I'm trying to become a better guitar player now, thanks to YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's
So hopefully
great.
I'll achieve that
YouTube
goal of
is
like
great.
being able to do a solo in my damn life.
Drew Rendon says, how were you guys exposed to MMA or boxing? Was it through martial arts movies you watched, or did someone you know turn you on to it? I think, well, all growing up, our dad was really into boxing, so we were kind of naturally into it. And we always watched all the big fights, and we were always like excited for certain fights. So I think just the boxing and definitely the martial art movies and stuff was always just a part of our lives. So it was just like a natural, like once MMA became a big thing, it was just like, yeah, well, of course I'm going to watch this shit.
Yeah, it's the natural progression from boxing. And I do remember the early days of MMA not totally understanding the ground game. And also the ground game wasn't evolved back then. There was a lot of guys that would just sit on top of other people in MMA, and it would be a little boring. I remember being like, I still like boxing way better because they're just on their feet punching. And I don't. And then once the ground game started evolving, it was almost just like, and then once also the MMA striking got better, it was like bye-bye boxing for a little bit, dude. And it was just all MMA. And now boxing is so great again. There's so many fun boxers out there throughout all the weight classes. So now it's just both. But I would say this, Tito Ortiz was the wrestling coach at our high school, at Marina High School, when we went to high school there. And that's how I got into MMA. Two of my friends were really good wrestlers at our school, and Tito was their coach. So in Tito's very first MMA fight ever, it was on pay-per-view, and we all rented it because he was a coach at our school. And so we watched a Tito Ortiz fight before he was ever in the UFC, and we never stopped watching it from then. So really, we've been die hard. Absolutely die hard. We watched all the Japan fights, everything since 1997. We started watching MMA.
Yep.
We've been on that thing for 23 fucking years, man.
It's crazy.
We're OGs.
Jesse Rules says, do you have New Year's resolutions, and did you keep your last year's? You know what I did? I have one resolution going into next year, and it's nothing crazy, but I just want to be quicker. I want to be quicker at responding to like people's text messages and emails.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's just my thing. It's like sometimes I don't know why. I hate it. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at responding to everything, but I want to become better at just responding to everyone's shit quicker.
Shit, I might have to steal that because that's something Lorna always, like my phone will go, and she's all, write them back. And I'm like, I don't know what to say right now. I'm gonna hop in the shower. And and then 3 days go by, and you're like, shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't make one last year, and I know maybe I'll steal that one for this year because I should absolutely get better at that.
Lynn Hanyoist says, this question is for Blonde and Snake. Do you guys get down with dabs, or do you strictly puffed up on crispy dank nugs? Do you own a dab rig?
How weird is that is the question right now, because they're here.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, whatever. They weren't. All right, you guys, did you hear that? Yeah, come on. Just come over. Yeah. All right. Here, read it again and come. Yeah, here they come. Just take my mic and Duddy's.
It says, this question is for Blonde and Snake. Do you guys get down with dabs, or do you strictly puffed up on crispy dank nugs? Do you own a dab rig?
Oh, does a bear shit in the woods, dude? Sick question, first of all, because it is hay related.
Yes.
But here's what we do in our studio back house in Escondido, where I had my
Ferris burrito?
Absolutely. We live with two gay people from outer space. They're Galians. Space weed, square bong. All right, you're all caught up on who we are and what we're about. We do both every single time. Here's what we do. We will put weed into a bong, put some dabbage on the weed, and then we torch fire the whole thing, suck it down, and we just do dab hay hitters pretty much all day.
Dab hay hitters.
Dabby hay hitters.
Oh, and speaking of dab rigs, that's what I say when I see like a super hot hippie chick with a fine body. I'm like, that chick's got a dab rig, bro.
Do you know Condra that works at the sponsory? She's got the one with the full fucking dab rig on her, dude.
Oh,
Sick. Oh my God, dude. All right, sick question.
Happy New Year,
Hey,
guys.
first of all, actually, before we dip, critical year, guys. It was real heavy for a lot of us. Blonde and I had to move several times due to our excessive weed smoking, lying about how many inhabitants of the studios that we lived in, and having 4 dogs. But we landed in a good place, and we're looking forward to 2021. And we just want to say you guys really got us through this year.
I just want to say, first off, that I really appreciate all you guys. And I hope that you all have a really enjoyable high for 2021.
Oh, sick thing, dude. Did you sing it
I
out?
just thought of it.
Say it again.
For 2021.
Oh, sick thing, dude. Have a good year, guys. Great question. Thanks for everything, dude. We gotta go. I'm getting sober.
Okay.
All right, dude. What was that thing that Blonde said that was funny?
For 2021.
For 2021. We should steal that.
We got to steal
and then
that.
kill them. All right. So,
Oh, Kevin Torbeck says, I hope everyone had a nice Christmas and have a safe, healthy, happy new year. My question is, do you guys think aliens have pets? Like, what would alien dogs or cats look like? Do they talk?
shit. Oh, here he comes. He's coming back. Oh. All right, I'll lean back. Dude, first of all, sick question. Secondly, I can tell you firsthand that aliens and Galians do have pets. Our Galians have a poodle. All right, see you guys. Yeah, leave this time. Close the door and lock the front, dudes. Lock the front. All right, bye-bye. All right, they're out of here.
Hope you both had a great Christmas. What do you guys prefer? Oh, this is from Kristen Beck. Sorry. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. What do you guys prefer to go camping in? A camper, a cabin, or a tent? Well, I think it depends. Like, hey, look,
Only one is camping.
yeah, well, the tent camping is like, it would be hard for me, I think now, like, if to go, no, I would go tent camping. I still would. I don't know if my wife would, but I think it depends, like who I'm going with and where. Mm-hmm. If I'm going with a big group of people and we're going to all be hanging out and kind of partying together, sure, give me a big old cabin, unless we all have campers next to each other. You know, give me a big old cabin that we can all just hang out in and rage in. But like, I just did camping this last summer. We went for a week up to Mammoth, had a little, camper, and it was so much fun. Mm-hmm. Like camper camping is kind of the way to do it. Because you're still
out. You get your own private zone.
You get your private zone and you're still like out. You still kind of feel like you're in just a big tent kind of situation outdoors. I love that. That's a good time.
Yeah, the tent.
You got your little fire pit outside your camper.
Beach camping is super cool in a tent, like in the summer when everything is nice. And I think if you want to be rugged and like, hike into the forest and go fishing like on a like backcountry feeling thing, you go tent. But yeah, I guess if you're just trying to have a leisure weekend in any way, it's always better off if you got a freaking bathroom of your own and somewhere to cook food. But I tent camp a lot, because we like to do the beach thing, my wife and I. And Duddy got me a bunch of cool camping shit for Christmas.
Jay Dorbazinski. Wow. I think I said that right. Hey, Duddy, did you have more time to work on your craft during these coronal times? And do you find that your chops improve more from woodshed time or touring time? P.S. Thank you both for doing what you do is much appreciated. Thank you, Jay. You know what? The first half of all of this, I was working on it a lot because we were doing all of those live streams. So we were going back and relearning every single song we ever wrote. And we were writing a lot of new stuff to those songs, learning covers. So I was working on my craft a lot the first half as far as music goes. The second half, I feel like I've worked a lot more on this podcast. Like we're trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do in 2021 for this podcast and putting a lot of effort into that. But to answer your question, I guess.
Oh, and then he said something about.
I guess I definitely learn more like at home because I'm at home. Okay. I'll be looking up videos, learning things, learning covers, whatnot. And on the road, I always tell myself like, oh yeah, on the off time on the road, I'm gonna record songs and do so, and I never do. I get so it's a lot out there, and you get caught up in it. So at home, I learn more for sure. She who shall not be named says, "Can I please be Luke's assistant?" No. Jen Peterson says,
he has COVID.
Jen Peterson says, we should all Zoom together. That would be fun. Or just Blonde Marley and me. No. And this is going to be our last question of 2021.
Here it is, guys. This is it. We've come to the end of the end. This is the last transition. Is that a thing? Transmission. There it is.
There you go.
Between us all.
And it is
year.
Melissa Nelson. Wait! You didn't answer my question! There's no time! She says, what mildly annoying curse do you wish you could curse people with? I would want to curse people with frequent tripping. Oh, that's good.
That's a really great one.
That's a good one. Oh, wow.
Oh, I got one.
Farting?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, dude. Just constant loud farting sessions, dude.
100%,
All
dude.
day.
Just fucking making people fart with, and they don't even know it's coming. It's just, they're like, whoa! You can just point at someone and they fart. Oh, that would be the best.
I would curse you with walk farting.
Every
time you walk, it's just the little farts are coming out. Walk farting. You can't walk, dude.
Is that your shoe? No, it's my butt.
That was a curse with walk farting.
For the rest of your life, you'll be a walk farter.
A walk farter. Oh. It's either you stand still or fucking dead sprint. Anything in between. There's a crop dust.
All
there
right.
it is, Daddy. We did it.
That's it.
We got to the end. Poor Lukey boy. Everybody, best wishes to Luke. Oh, yeah. And big thanks to Anthony and Luke. You guys, Gentle Giant and Luke this year. None of this would have not. It's like, okay, some of this would have happened without them.
Yeah.
All right. We would have got shows out, but the quality of the audio and the video and all of the online, anything, it all would have really sucked. And really, without Anthony, Gentle Giant, helping us with all the back end of our website and all of our socials, it would have been a much gnarlier year than it was. So mad respect to Gentle Giant and Lukey Boy, and we love them for all their help this year. And thank you guys for all the listeners for hanging out with us, helping Duddy and I get through 2020. It was a shitty year for everybody, man. Anything else you want to say? Last one of the year, man.
Just want to say thank you guys. We appreciate you. Hope you guys had a fun time with us this year. I know it was a rough one, and we will see you in 2021.
Yee-hoo!
For 2021.
Oh, there it is.